Okay, how to beat Primo Geovishap. So we're going to bring double Geo for the flat 50% damage bonus while we have a shield, and we're also going to be bringing double Pyro for the flat 25% damage bonus just in general. So as you can see here, all of my gear is all right. Festering Desire is a limited time weapon. You don't need it. All of this gear is just to make sure that you don't spend 10 minutes watching me fight an enemy. That's it. None of the gear here is mandatory. Now, what might be arguably mandatory for this fight is Noelle. Right, so we use Amber because she's a Pyro unit and everybody has her. But the most important thing is Noelle. So, Noelle, you don't need to have any levels on her. I'm not going to be using her for any damage. All you need her for is her shield, because what it'll do, because it's GEO Shield, it'll reflect the damage on one of his moves. That's it. So anyways, let's get into the fight. Alright, so we've got Primo Geovishap here. I think this is the Cryo version. I don't know, I'm pretty colorblind. I think the only one that's easy to tell is the Pyro one, because it's brown. Well, brown for me. But basically, this boss fight's really, really, really easy, okay? This thing only has about 8 moves, like 4 of which we can avoid just by staying far away from him, okay? So the main thing is that it can shoot these spines. That's the one thing that changes across the different elements for this boss. It's random which one you get, right? It's random which boss element you get, so don't worry about it. They're all the same. I'll show you what they do later if I manage to get some of them to spawn. But basically, he's really easy, so mainly because of this move. So you always want to put up Noelle's shield, or Zhongli's shield, doesn't matter. As long as it's the GEO Shield, it's all good, right? Everybody should have Noelle. If you don't have Noelle, you might have a little bit of a harder time because the range on this thing is pretty big, okay? So anyways, he's really easy just because you can just stay far away from him. All you need to do, put up the shield, it'll reflect the damage. Look at his HP bar, right? Wow, that's a lot of damage, okay? So anyways, all you need to do is just stay far away from him, and he's pretty much not dangerous at all. Here, he always does this little, like, dig into the ground move attack thing where he'll, like, do that. It might seem intimidating, but all you need to do is you can just stand in one place and he'll slam onto you right there, right? The thing is that when he comes up, it doesn't do any damage. The only damage that's dealt when he's digging into the ground is when he slams after he comes up. So you can just dash out of that, right? So all we're doing is we're just taking advantage of the fact that, you know, he can take damage from his own move here, right? He's going to go ahead and dig in the ground. Alright, so as you can see here, all you need to do is just dash out of the way. It's really nice and easy. I like to use the boulders because he does a lot of AoE moves, which breaks boulders really easily, right? When he puts down the spines, they don't actually deal damage either, by the way. The only time that the spines deal damage is when they explode. So, anyways, let's talk about what happens if you don't stay away from him. Okay, so if you don't stay away from him, as you can see here, he's probably going to do a weirdo move, right? So he'll do this Ice Breath, which is kind of annoying because the hitbox is wonky on it. It's like a little bit more than 180, right? So like directly in front of him, it's a little bit more than that. If you stay behind him, he will almost always do a like tail spin attack, which is very difficult to double dash out of unless you're a tall character. So unless you're like a tall male character like Kaya or D-Luke or Tartaglia, you might have a hard time. By the way, you can't break these. They just detonate after a certain amount of time. But basically, this boss fight's really, really nice and easy. All you need to do is just put down a boulder, let him go, he'll detonate the boulder, right? He does the triple slam, which isn't that big of a deal. And all you need to do is, as long as you stay away, this boss fight is absolutely no problem. He just has a lot of defense, that's all. Anyways, he'll just keep doing that. Am I gonna get my... Can I get some ulti here? Thank you. Alright. Let's wait for him to do something. Now we're just going to go in. So anyways, easy. Alright, so here we have the Electro version of this fight. So all the spines do here is they explode in a really, really big cross pattern. Right, so look at that. See, look at that. They explode in a big cross pattern, so be careful. You need to stay very far away from these spines. We have the Hydro version here, okay? So the Hydro version is pretty easy too. The spines, all they do is they explode into little, like, torrents of water. That's it. All you need to do is just stay away, again. Alright, so the fire one's probably the only one that's a little bit more annoying because this thing leaves residual fire things on the ground, right? So when the spines explode, as you can see here, they leave these like residual lava pools that will do consistent damage, and they'll also inflict pyro on you if you worry about that kind of stuff, right? They last for quite a long time too, so look at that, right? Anyways, again, just stay out of the way.